Hey there. I'm here. I'm here to Grand Rising. I'm here to be truthful about what I've been experiencing over maybe the last. It's been almost 3 months now. Actually, I was saying to someone else that it had been a month, but it's been longer than that. It's just that it finally it's finally reared its ugly head. Hold on just a moment. It's finally it's just taken its a life of its own. But I wanna talk about it because this may look a lot similar for other people that experience what I experienced. So let's get into it. So I mentioned the reason I'm here is because I'm not aligning, um, like when I am not on camera, my behavior obviously does not match what I'm doing online, and I do not like that. I do not like that. It adds another layer to what I'm experiencing and feeling. And so I want to be transparent about what I'm experiencing so that, one, I can get rid of that one, lightening the load of what I'm dealing with. Um, will, you know, help. So, um, I knew quite some time ago that I was eventually going to crash. I knew that. I saw it coming. So I tried to prepare myself in some ways to try to avoid what that looks like. But you can't always prepare for every single thing that you're going to experience. So I had a lot of things uh, happen that have now it's okay. We'll begin. Let's begin. Um, I started seeing the signs of a burnout coming in August because essentially I'm already burnt out. Like I'm constantly going above and beyond what I actually am capable of doing. Um, because I mean, life doesn't stop. Your child still needs you. You're the only person they have. You know, so I'm not saying anything that I know that a lot of other individuals are experiencing, and I'm not like putting myself on some type of you know pedestal as to like being someone who has fought off their their exhaustion or anything. So I just want to say that, but I saw it coming in August, and so I got to work, like working out, going to the gym, yada yada, and I did attempt to make friends. Um, Whereas some of them are still at the gym, and I never even got the chance to exchange numbers with them, but I was trying to be consistent uh, to get to that point. But unfortunately, I didn't actually meet my deadline. So the deadline was to try to at least exchange a few numbers, and try to like speak to these people and get some kind of build some kind of rapport, so by the time this happens I've already kind of like made some friends or made some people that can help like pull me out of it, or um like yeah, I guess it was just the pull me out of it part, right? But I didn't it's not enough time. It wasn't enough time to really build that solid link. You know what I'm saying? So, that deadline wasn't wasn't met. But um Holidays can be really triggering for a lot of people. You know, the for the entire 2 months from Thanksgiving and Christmas, you know, and leading up to it, there were plenty of commentary on what to do during the holidays with your narcissistic family dynamic, and you know, the narcissist of the family and what they plan on doing and blah blah blah. And so I know that you know, I wasn't the only person that was likely affected by the holiday, but I had a lot that was happening outside of that. I had an incident um outside of the family dynamic that just it totally threw everything for a loop. Like all the things that I was preparing for mentally and whatnot, I did well. And I have to be like more specific in order. I try sometimes I try to be vague and it just doesn't work. Okay, so let's start with what the triggers were looking like. Okay. Um I was triggered by a situation with my mother where I specifically said I didn't want my son to be surprised by something, and she ended up doing it anyway. And I had to choose. Um, I chose for my son to be in an environment with my parents, um, because I wanted him to see his sister, and I felt like it was better for him to see his sister at that time than worry about, you know, my own personal feelings about my own feelings and my own experiences. It was the environment was safe enough to where I know that if anything were nothing would have happened because of what environment he was in at the time. So I felt safe enough with allowing him to be, you know, in proximity to my parents so that he could see my daughter. But what I did not expect is that that would be triggering. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't expect it, but I didn't react. Like, I didn't text my mother and tell her how disrespectful she was for not listening to me. I didn't say anything to my sister who picked him up. Like, I may have mentioned, you know, I didn't want him to be surprised, but it didn't turn into a dialogue. Even though I was greatly triggered, then I was triggered by, um, you know, the separation itself. Being separated from my son was triggering. Knowing that my son is seeing a child that I have not seen in 2 years was triggering. And I did not react at all. So then we get to actual Thanksgiving, and my son left again. And, you know, he saw his sister again. But then when he came back, um, he was then like displaying a lot of triggers. He's being triggered by seeing her, and I have to work with him like often. He's regressed emotionally. Essentially, he's regressed to the point he was when they actually split up. So he's doing like a lot of baby shit. I was already burnt out. I was already burnt out. I was already burnt out. Okay. So now I'm triggered by my son's trigger because, you know, it's my fault they were split up, right? So I just keep pushing forward. Okay, we go through another week. I meet the friend on the bus, and things kind of went south. You know, after a couple weeks, that's fine. I had something else very personal happen, between me and the person that I was actually like sleeping with, you know, and that I actually responded to. I reacted, and I reacted very terribly, very terribly. Okay, and then we have another holiday, and um, this time it goes back into the behavior that I've experienced with my siblings, where they're inconsistent. And one thing was said, but a whole different thing happened, because that's what the fuck happens in these dynamics. And I did not respond. I did not react. I did not. But um, then I noticed that one of the people I did exchange phone numbers with, they contacted me, but when they contacted me, it was because they needed something. You know what I'm saying? And it was like, I was really excited to hear from them, but then I realized why they contacted me, and they probably don't have any interest in really being a friend with me. So I'm like dealing with all these little things, like one, like day after day after day. And I finally just like, you know, I've gone to therapy. I've been in therapy. They had to change my medication because it immediately, as these things are piling up, it's not working anymore. It wasn't really working to begin with, and then I'm getting frustrated as well because like one of my neighbors is currently on a medication that I specifically asked for that they continue to refuse to give me. I need to do the whole thing that they keep talking about, where you ask for something and then they, oh, I just got a notification. Yeah, that's what I need to do. When I ask for something, I need them to tell me specifically why, and they need to give it to me in writing because I'm tired of this bullshit too. Okay. Anyways, um, so I've just been going through like all these different. Oh, my son. I finally saw my son. I haven't seen my son since February. Okay. I finally see him. He comes out here. All right. It's great. Everything's wonderful, but he's only here for like 3 hours. So I have literally only seen my son for like 15 hours in the entire fucking year. And, um, and his dad tried to trigger me. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't respond. I didn't react. They're still trying to trigger me. Okay. He's still trying to trigger me, because he keeps telling me I need to talk to my son about it, but my son is not responding to anything I'm saying. I haven't even said anything. In fact, I haven't even said anything to him about what his dad said, because I already know what it is. It's him trying to attempt to create a rift if I go and I try to talk to my son about it. I already know, because we've done this for years and years. So I didn't respond. I didn't react, but I asked my son about money. Oh, he responded. But then, like, nothing else. I actually got good news, you know, and I tried to cling to that good news, and it's not enough. You know what I'm saying? It's not enough to like keep me up here. So I'm still reacting to the situation with the person that I slept with, and it's been over a month, and like he finally fucking blocked me, um, and you know I'm not dealing with that well. Um, I spoke to someone, and you know, and I was talking about, I wish I could be like that. I wish I could be nonchalant. And they're like, well, it takes years of dedication. And the thing is, I've been working on trying to be that way for a very long time, for all my life. And one of the things that I have to acknowledge is that I am better. You know, I am. Um, but if you're someone who is triggered, uh, you know, and you're a person who responds to your triggers, and you have like a, when you're in these kind of dynamics, it's almost the equivalent of having, you know, hundreds or thousands of tacks on your pathway, right? You're on the pavement and there's thousands of you can't even walk in the grass. There's so many tacks on the ground. They're all sticking up, and that would be like, it would essentially be impossible to move forward without, stepping on at least one tack. Maybe you step on 10, right? So that's how I view this situation right now. It's like, I had thousands of triggers in front of me, and it's unrealistic of me to have the expectation that I wouldn't have been triggered by at least one of them, because there were so many. I'm just glad I made it, but this right here, this is what I really am like when I'm not on camera. I've been like this for a while now. And at least you see that, and you don't see like the little mask I put on. I don't like that. I don't like not telling you how I feel. So that is the lesson for people who are dealing with triggers and have like, that's too much straight of triggers. Like I'm really just hung up on one one specific one, but I didn't react to all them other ones. Just think of it as, it is unrealistic to have all of those triggers laid before you and you not react to at least one. At least you didn't react to all of them. That's good. That's progress. And just, accept that you did make progress and be okay with that. So, y'all have a good day.